round 8 of the AMSA Offroad series here for 2024. And we're off to an interesting start. 5th off the line, Aaron goes down, old Steve up there, another guy comes in, almost cuts in, and I fall into 3rd place when it all shakes out here. So I'm following Wolfgang and Tom at the moment. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting race. We're doing the course essentially from last year backwards, and it's a hot one as well. Oh, I'm sure it's got to be over plus 30, so a toasty day to be out riding your dirt bike. Too sure when the last time they had rain out here, but in the open anyways, it was pretty dusty. My right eye, I had my goggles off a fair bit this race, and my right eye is super sore. Just took in a lot of dust this day, and my throat was really sore as well, but boo-hoo. I was out having fun on my dirt bike, so just chasing these guys at the moment, and yeah, trying to keep it on 2 wheels, or 1 wheel, or no wheels, depending on what you're hitting. There's a little bit of a mud hole right here. Gonna slow this up, but wasn't able to make a pass. Course, you take a right and drop down, and on the B course keep going straight. So they had it flagged off right now because the Bs haven't started yet, but last year coming up this hill, these logs were this log was a pretty tough one, and getting up this hill was kind of one of the last ones. So there's some pie plates just sort of reinforcing the A loop, so if any B riders drop down here, they'd soon figure out that they were on the wrong course. But, yeah, I was kind of glad to be following Tom here. He's dabbing away. I like to carry speed down these things, but it can be pretty risky. But I wasn't in really a big panic here, so just thought, let's chase Tom around for a while. This will be fun. We're coming up on one of the first bottlenecks, I guess you could say. I knew there was going to be a pile of them up to start just because they were putting us into the really hard stuff right out of the chute. So here's a bunch of 30A guys. I sneak past Tom, and Wolfgang shoots up there, kind of waiting for that guy to go, and then I do the same. This is my buddy Scott that I just snuck behind there, and yeah, made a whole pile of passes. So it's nice when you don't have to follow another class. You can get by them all right off the start. It makes your life a hell of a lot easier. So I was pretty pumped about this. this tree, and I thought, okay, I'll just go over it, and then no, that didn't happen. So now I've got to try to get my bike up and over, and meanwhile Stephen Mansfield here, he's right there scooting by me, but he messes up a little bit and goes for a excursion into the off the side of the bike here, so I just couldn't get any traction to get around him, and I'm just kind of stuck where I am and let him get situated and get going again. So hurry up and wait for him to start moving before I can get out of my predicament. Here is Kevin Dupuis on the left. I'm sure he built a lot of the course last year, and so was probably helping Tom out building the course for this year. But yeah, he's an observer this season. Just I'm not sure, raced a couple rounds and then decided he had enough of it, and so he's out here just spectating, I suppose. Mansfield had messed that log up, so once he got out of the way, I was able to hop it, and we dropped down here. This is pretty steep. Scott ended up going over the bars here. I got a video of him eating shit. This guy's sitting here. One of these guys probably recorded it, but or actually maybe somebody lower down. But anyways, you can bulldog it or you can ride it. I'm always foolish and like to ride these things, but this is pretty steep. No joke. If you grab a mitt full of front brake or just kind of bobble, you're going to be eating shit, guaranteed. As it was, yeah, Scott slammed into that tree on the right there with his bike. And whoever's shooting video, you can just see like the corner of your eye. Here's another hill climb. Guides are kind of queued up, so snuck in past Steven. These are some 38 guys here that are in front of me. Once that guy, I felt like he was kind of clear enough. It was like time for me to hit it. I don't want to wait around. Up and around these people, and then go for the next climb. Unfortunately, there's somebody in the way, and I don't have a good drive, so I'm not making it up.
Sorry, Melissa. Hey, George, Matt.
This part up, but both Wolfgang and Steven get past me here, so that kind of sucks. Now I'm sitting in third, and yeah, I have to do some Mickey Mouse stuff here to try to get my bike situated so I can hit this properly and continue on.
I don't know if I was in second gear.
Top of this ridge here, last year we would have been coming up and down this a couple more times. There was some pretty gnarly climbs, and running it the opposite direction, they elected to not send us down them. The going down part wouldn't have been bad, but the coming up might have been pretty treacherous, so they bypassed a couple of the climbs that we would have had to hit last year and sent us along this ridge. zoom here, dropping down this steep hill. It was pretty steep at the top, and I forgot to turn my camera on, so you're kind of catching this part way through. But it was a pretty good descent, and a challenge getting up it last year through here. What was nice and mossy maybe at one point in time is now running pretty good, but last year was definitely a challenge coming up, and these downhills are just as challenging coming down, I suppose. A lot of weight on your arms and lots of places to bobble and screw up, so just trying to get through it clean. We are at the 5-kilometer mark according to those pie plates, so the race was slated to be right around 40 kilometers, so yeah, 5 into the race.
Yeah, this was tough coming up last year. So late in the race. Oh, didn't wear my hand brace today. Thought it might help with circulation. Which I'm sure it is.
Here as well. I must have bumped my mount for my camera, so it's not totally square for the video that I'm shooting. It's off to one side, and so yeah, it's gonna look kind of funny. By the time I hit the checkpoint, and Tom had said, "Oh, I was gonna fix your camera for you. My battery was dead," and this was really a race for the most part, so I didn't have time to stop and change a battery this go around, so I don't have full footage of the race, but most of the more challenging stuff, what I don't have is the really fast stuff. But here I'm sitting around for a few minutes waiting for the trail to clear. There's some gnarly Rooty stuff here that we're just kind of queued up on behind. Melissa Harton here. Joseph is in front of her, and I'm not sure who else is there. There's a few people. There's some people down off to the right as well. I'm not sure what they were doing, but the way to go is here through these trees, and just painful to sit here and wait, but it's a smart thing to do. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Take off, so I'm gonna start charging at this thing. I wanted to have those guys out of my way. It's a lot easier to be able to just ride right through this and to queue up behind somebody's tail, but he didn't get going, so made a little pass there and up and over this root step, and waiting on the next one now. There was a line off to the left that I don't think I caught originally, and I was gonna go up it, but yeah, here we sit.
Yeah, buddy. I like his line. Oh fuck.
Where you going now?
Left.
On the GoPro this all looks pretty flat, but you can see people spinning out trying to get traction and having a hard time getting going, so this is actually pretty steep. But I'd say this is probably the worst section of my race. Just wasn't moving forward, and yeah, I've screwed up numerous times in here, so this cost me a few places through this section, which wasn't ideal. Those are the brakes. having just half an inkling of what it is you're coming up on makes all the difference as to whether or not you need to carry more speed or check up for some turn or know that the route's coming or whatever. I was just kind of riding blind through here, not really knowing what to expect. So obviously carrying speed should probably be the default setting, but when you aren't doing that, you're getting passed by people. So there goes somebody. And yeah, I need to get up this hill, but I'm still going to be doing a bit of zigging and zagging to try to get up the rest of this. It's fairly loose here, so not exactly easy to get up.
Oh.
What I would consider the hard section from last year. The last 10 kilometers from last year was after the Widowmaker. We went through a cut block and then we had to climb up all these hills.
I sucked at this rock last year. I had a really hard time getting up that. I had to try it twice.
Yeah, the last little bit that I'm dropping down, last year this was all pretty loamy, so there was lots of lines I guess you could probably take, but you know, sort of a main line developed, and that's what most people were riding up. But it was tough, especially to get going off the bottom down here. Just Rooty side hill and some step ups, and yeah, it was tough going. But as you drop down here in a cut block and get on the gas here. But of course my goggles are still off, so I've got to stop and put them on so I don't get too much dust in my eyes.
43 minutes. Freaking dusty.
The infamous Widowmaker. I've never went up it, so here's attempt number 1. I didn't realize there's a whole bunch of rocky ledges here, and yeah, they do away with your momentum fairly quickly. So I wasn't able to make it to the top, and rather than side hill or do whatever, I actually wanted to try to clean this hill, so I decided I was going to drop back down and hit it again. It's only a race. First attempt, that sort of main line had a bunch of guys on it, so that's why I went to the left. I couldn't really see, and so now there's still one person there, but I decided this is the way to go. So I just sneak by them here, lose some speed in the process, but was able to maintain momentum and climb up. Of course, there's flagging off to the right telling me that I should be turning right, but I'm pointed up the hill and still going up a little bit, so I got to swing around here and drop back down to actually get onto the racing line. If you knew this area, you probably would have just stayed far right, climbing the hill, and avoided all of this, but there's no fun in that. Now just get the motor off and rock and roll down this hill. Here I go for water and end up with half water, half dust going down the wrong pipe, so I'm choking on it. And there was a sharp left there that I didn't make, so spun around to actually hit this hill a little bit lower down. I'm not sure hit might be a strong word here because I'm just kind of putzing up it, not really with any sort of momentum or speed, just getting up. She's coming back from injury, so she's not riding 100%, but she pulled over up here to take a break or adjust something, or who knows, she could have been sore. So I yelled at her to try to keep her going. Now we're coming into a section that we had to get up last year. The year before you had to get straight up this. You'll see up here on the left-hand side when we drop into the rut, you had to keep going up, and the guy that was at the top of the hill wasn't letting anybody who decided they wanted to meander over this way give them a check. So you had to get up here on the left, and that was a tough one. But this time around, we're going down the hill, so it's a hell of a lot easier. Just don't hit the brakes too hard and slam into anything, and you should be okay.
Sorry on the arms. Last year, but coming up on some makeshift bridges. You want to be on the right hand side of that log, and then yeah, go around here, and I see Kristen Broderick. She's dropping down from a hill, so coming up here, so I know that there's something, I guess, challenging up ahead. Just gonna jump that log. She's dropping down right there. And I figured out that there's there's a hill to be climbed. Sort of lost my drive for that climb and saw that there was these guys over here on this left line, so I just decided, okay, I'll cut over and spin around, and then I can get up here a little easier rather than hitting it again. If it wasn't a race, there's no way I would do this, but just trying to be smart, so got this far and this line looked pretty easy. There's an easy and a hard line. Of course, I wasn't even anywhere near the hard line, so I decided to go easy. It takes every ounce of being out of me to hit the easy lines, because I just love the challenge, but yeah, trying to conserve energy, so I decided, okay, let's go putt around the easy line like a sucker. A bunch of trees down here, just gotta hop over them. I've sped this up a little bit, so you don't have to belabor the point here, but yeah, this is what you do when you don't hit the hard stuff. They send you on a wild goose chase, and eventually you get to the top. I think Wolf King said he did try to get up the hard line and didn't make it all the way, so he ended up having to drop down and hit it again anyways. You got Sweeper sitting there at the top. And right here, I'm going to slam into something with my foot. That hurt. My foot's still sore. This is the next day. I don't know what I did. I just didn't see it. Obviously, there's a tree down there, but it hit my foot pretty good, and at the time hurt like hell. Thankfully, it's not broken. And it looks like we are coming up on one of our first checks. We've got some white ribbons here, sort of signifying that there's something up ahead, and then they had the check on this pink ribboned chain. So get a whole bunch of different, that one was a circle, there was one that was a heart, one that was a star, but of course a few people weren't paying attention during the riders meeting and maybe don't race this style or format a race that often, and didn't realize that those were checks and that you needed to punch your card. So if you show up back at the start finish and you don't have all three punched, they disqualify you, and that happened unfortunately to a few people that I know. Maybe chasing a guy in intermediate, I'm not sure. I've got Jacob Crow Swords just behind me, and maybe another guy in his class in front of me. I knew I wasn't racing these people, so I just decided, okay, I'll pull over. So I had already let this guy by, and I'm gonna let Jacob by here as well right away. And then I just sort of take an alternate line down this hill, so I'm not eating his dust, but I do pull over and let him by, and get an alternate line here. these alternate lines is sometimes you end up on a rock shelf, sometimes you end up hitting a bunch of deadfall that is angled at the wrong angle, so you're sort of taking your chances. But I always find it's fun to go rip through the trees and stay off the main trail on these big downhills, so that's sort of what I did in this instance. Big hill here, they've got flagging telling you to go left, and then realize, oh yeah, this was a pretty monster hill in the race last year. So Jacob's just ahead of me, and I like ripping down these hills, so he was kind of taking his time, just being safe, and I was off the brakes and bombing down through this stuff, not knowing what the hell I was going to hit. So it's a risky move, but it definitely gets the adrenaline going when you're passing people like that.
Love me a good downhill.
Here I just watched somebody go around this feature, and I thought, oh no, screw it, turn on the camera and hit these routes. So that's what I did. I think I've sped up the video here just because there's nothing too exciting, but we're coming up on some more challenging sections in short order here. So dropping down here at the bottom, I'm pretty sure last year we would have taken a sharp turn and gone left, but now they're sending us straight across, so this is all new stuff, which I mentioned here briefly.
This is all new. WTF in the trail.
Several times that I get off course. Nothing too bad, but a few times later in the race here too, I get on a trail and end up going the wrong way. Everybody's kind of questioning, where the heck do we go? There was all this caution tape, but had we paid attention, you can actually take a left here and go over this bridge and keep going. Video, but this was a greasy log that I decided to not pop over, and it ended up spitting me off the bike. So now my left handguard is bent down as well as my clutch, but I don't have time to fix that, so I'm going to be riding my bike with the handguard and the clutch bent down a little bit. Nothing too severe, but it's still annoying.
How's it going? Not bad. Sure it could be worse. Fuck, it is hot though, yes, I will agree with that.
Riding quite a bit with that guy on the right here going forward. Him and I think maybe it was like another guy in Vetmaster and a few pros too. There was quite a few of us that were all kind of jammed up together, so that made for actually a fun race in the second part of this after the checkpoint. I don't have video of the check and my camera died before I actually hit the check, but from that point forward it was go time with a whole bunch of people, so sometimes these races can be pretty lonely, but not this day. There was lots of people to be battling back and forth with, and like I said, we were off course a few times, and you'd mess up, you'd get ahead, you'd mess up, then you'd be climbing back up the hill, and the guys that you had passed would see that you're climbing back up, and they'd get ahead of you, and it just kind of went like that for quite a while, so it was pretty fun. Just getting to the tail end of this hill here now.
Oh.
up to a spot where I'm going to catch up to a bunch of guys. It's a tougher area, I guess, just some Rooty step-ups, but yeah, this bit of flow here that soon grinds to a halt, and we're all stuck on this hill trying to get up it, so stay tuned. That was the 20-kilometer marker, so essentially halfway through the race, and here we are on a hill and got a bunch of guys in front of me, so get to hurry up and wait. I think two guys that I'm racing, Andy and Steven, are both up there working together to try to get through this, so one of them goes and then the other one helps the other, and we're all just kind of waiting for them to get through here before we get after it.
Hey, buddy.
Down that hill.
I like downhills. They're fun.
Scared me when I thought you were going over that time. I heard all the rocks and the bike goes through the path. I think someone crashed.
Oh shit.
That was Jacob there. I had to leave that in the video. It was pretty funny because I kind of blew past him. He assumed I was going to be crashing, which, yeah, it's definitely possible, but now we're just queued up here sitting around waiting to hit this stuff. One guy snuck past. He must have been an expert class. It wasn't anybody that I was racing, so I wasn't too concerned about it. But there's guys queuing up here, and we're all just kind of like, okay, I don't want to be on somebody's rear wheel. I'd rather ride at this and hit it, so that's what I'm going to do in short order.
I heard something about a line off to the right in one of these. I don't know where though. Yeah.
Yeah, so the two guys to my left are both guys that I'm racing. And this guy here in front of me looks like he's got vet master plates, so he's in a totally different class than me. Although we've been riding together for a while, so that's fine. It beats a boring race where you're all by yourself, and it's cool to catch up to the guys that are in your class. If you're behind them, it gives you a glimmer of hope to, you know, hopefully get past them and charge ahead. As you can see, it isn't pretty in here. Guys laying their bikes over, trying to find other lines, and just generally on the struggle bus, trying to get through here. So I'm not sure how much time we were losing, but everybody's in the same boat. As long as I can see the people that I'm racing against up ahead of me, I'm not super panicked, but once I get off the hill, then the urgency becomes pretty extreme to get it done.
Nice one. Oh. Okay.
Here, just one last little push to get to the top, and then hopefully it's smooth sailing. Andy's sitting here waiting for his buddy Steven to get to the top, so those two, like I said, sort of were teaming up to ride together, and I was laughing because I was talking with Steven afterwards, and they were in a big panic to catch me once I got past them, so we did dice back and forth a little bit more in this race after this point, but sadly I don't have any of it on video. Like I said, it was in a big pack with some pros, some experts, and a few of us 40A guys, and the Audette Master. We got past all the 30A guys early on in this race, but I think we were still sort of dicing with them towards the end too, so there might have been Joseph, I think, was in there. A lot of guys, unfortunately, I think in 30A only 2 guys made cutoff, and in our class I think 5 of us made cutoff, maybe, or 4. I'm not too sure. So they do have a time limit just to keep things moving here. You don't want somebody out, you know, past dark kind of thing, so they sort of limit that. But this is another one of those dead checks. So you've got the punch, and this one I think was a star. Didn't want to come off my bike, but got that punch, and then now it's just race to the finish. Yeah, a couple more hard hills in here that had guys going every which way, but in the end, yeah, it was a pretty good battle. There was a really crazy downhill we went down, and there was so many of us you couldn't see a damn thing. There was guys on the left line, guys on the right line, and I was kind of at the back of that after having just made a mistake in navigation. So I had some work to do to get past everybody again, but it was pretty risky going down. You just couldn't see anything. So as it turns out, let's see here, ended up 2nd overall on the day. Wolfgang took 1st, and Andy behind me here in the orange, he came in 3rd. Steven came in 4th. I think Tom ended up 5th, maybe. And that puts a wrap on the season. 2 years in a row, Steven and I both hit every round, and I let him in the points, but in our series they let you drop your worst round, unfortunately, and so he ends up with the overall title. I think he beat me by 2 points maybe. He had a bad result in Vega, and my worst result this year was a 4th, but I never did get a win, so something to strive for next year. Thanks for tuning in. Here's a little bonus footage. Scott Manley dropping down that one hill off the start. A little too hard on the brakes. With his fluorescent orange gloves on. And then me doing a climb up to the hard easy split.